up, Whitey Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 159. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little Bubba Kitty, somewhere around here, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon where we're doing our anime live reactions, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we can have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side, and even have the audio too, which is really come in handy for catching many botched localizations. And the more views and subscribers we get, the more anime we'll cover. And there's a stacked fall anime season upon us, and that does include Four Knights of the Apocalypse, and we're getting the Arthur versus Lancelot fight too. So please, please, please go subscribe to our Patreon. The links are in the description box below. So first off, I'm really happy that Nakaba Sensei is feeling better. I really hope that if Nakaba Sensei needs to, if you need to go switch to bi-weekly or monthly for your health's sake, please do it. We manga readers can wait. I mean, for fuck's sake. You're talking to someone that covers like Detective Conan, Hajime no Ippo, Berserk, D. Gray Man, World Trigger. Like, I'm patient. I can wait. So, but anyways, last chapter for Koa, we got to see Gwane's power-up. Oh my god, Gwane's power-up is amazing. Oh my god, I'm so excited to see. And Gwane wasn't using her full power either. So when we get to see Gwane at full power, which will probably be in the final battle against Chaos, oh, I'm so looking forward to that. That is going to be so epic when we get to the final battle against Chaos. Oh god, that's going to be so epic. But anyways, we're going to go after the Tristan platoon first. And then we're going to go see where Lancelot is after that. But anyways, let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us today. Oh, this title page is so cute with Milkweed! So cute! And this chapter is titled Within His Arms. The Amphlin Gladiator Festival? Yes, an event where those who want to escape prison wager their freedom and fight each other. The festival winner is granted both their freedom and a single wish from Belt Tripe himself. Just the two of them before a huge crowd of onlookers. Wow, isn't that a good chance to strike Bellatripe then? Yes! Nah, man, that's when he'd be most on his guard. No, he wouldn't. You don't get it. He's a supremely arrogant man. Well, no shit. Especially if, you know, he's like, well, if he's like, Pelagard and now Ironside, where, you know, he is probably mostly Chaos now. Okay. Wow, just like you, huh? Toddy, you had this coming, let's be real. So is there a way to reach Amphlin, there we go. Amphlin, I can't fucking talk this morning, I'm sorry. So is there a way to reach Amphlin? Yeesh, you at me too, Ann? Why we take this boat there, of course? But why don't we fortify ourselves with a good meal first? You can't have fun in a fight on an empty stomach. Yo, Grandma, Gramps, whoa, wait, what? Last some real food. Yo, Grandma, Gramps, I want my friends here to be fed to their heart's content. Your father's not joining us? We all eat when we want to. That's the custom. Not that I know why, but it's always been a tad awkward when Father and I are alone. But let's talk about you, shall we? How are you going to join a gladiator festival when you're all but weaponless, huh? Yeah, I popped out at the spur of the moment. Guess I didn't think much at all. Well, I see no major issue. Don't spoil him. You were pretty lucky that you came to me first, though. So yeah, I'll hook you up. Well, that's convenient. Grandma, boy, I'm starving. Grandma, but what the fuck is this? Nakaba, what is this? What in the berserk is this? Oh my god, I love this so much. I love when Nakaba is giving us this. Oh my god. It is so creepy. Oh my god, it is so creepy. But yeah, doesn't this give like very, very berserk? Ah! Dad, I loved Dottie's reaction the best. Whoa, quit with all the noise. No! What is that? Is it a golem maybe? Your menu for today is flying stingray and cream sauce, kraken salad, dusk bison steak, chicken matango pie, a berry cream pudding. Thanks, Grandma. What? Her? We'll take some post-meal tea, too. Ho ho. Oh, hi, What the fuck is this? You forgot the cutlery. Here are some condiments, too, if you like. But hello to you, my guests. I serve the lady of the house, as you see. That bony guy's a golem, too? What the hell? Thank you for being so kind to the cutest young lady in the world. I do hope you will continue to be good friends to Lady Gawain. What? Get out of here! You're embarrassing me. Yes, please enjoy yourselves then. Come on, guys, on the double. Okay, eat up. Doesn't it all look lovely? Something happened to Gawain's grandparents. Those aren't her real ones. She's coping with their grief, coping with their loss. What a curious set of grandparents. Curious, dude. They were freaking terrifying. A bit scary at first, but this is excellent. I hope so. It's the ultimate in gourmet cuisine from our in-house chefs. Let's see. You have a chef as well? Yeah, Grandma's old friend. I'll introduce you all later. This is so damn good. Whoa, Donnie, leave some of that for me. Oh man, that was like something out of a dream. I think this whole thing, let's be real, Camelot is something out of a nightmare more so than a dream. Well, a little bit of both. It's, again, like, it's very Berserk inspired. And it's like, this has been Four Knights of the Apocalypse from the very beginning. It's very Dragon Ball meets Berserk. And I love it so much. Let's see. Percival wasn't too bad a cook either, remember? Actually, where did Percival run off to? He said he was hitting the John. Did he get lost? Well, I'll go look for him. How lost could he even get in here? Oh, this is going to be a very interesting conversation. Oh, you again? Did you come to stop me from reporting you to the authorities? No, I'm not worried about that. Then what brings you here? You're King Arthur's brother, right, sir? Not by blood. I was hoping you could tell me what Arthur is like as a person. We just know far too little about him, so... Ooh, I'm afraid I never had much love for him. When I was young, my father brought him in as a child. Your brother from now on, he said. That was how I met Arthur. He quickly got used to court life. He's so cool too. Winning not only my father's love, but the trust and respect of all the nobles and servants. All the things I did not have, you see. One day, an oracle arrived in Camelot with a sword embedded in a stone. It was a holy sword Excalibur. They said that, they said, and anyone who pulled it out would succeed my father as king. Famed knights, strong men, and power-hungry fiends all tried their luck with it. I did too, of course, but no one was successful. However, just when we had all given up on it, that mere boy of 14 pulled the blade out with barely any effort. Nobody could ever understand the unease and despair I felt that moment. At this rate, not only would everything I knew be taken from me, I'd be forced to wait upon Arthur hand and foot my entire life. So I tricked him. I snatched the sword away from him and claimed to my father that it was I who pulled it out. What a dick! The lie didn't last for long. No, I shamed myself in front of him, and I was thrown in the dungeon. When Arthur came to visit my cell, I ranted and raved at him. You're a pox upon this land. You should never have been born. But it was actually a sorcerer that saw Arthur draw the blade who exposed my lie. No, he neither told my father nor anyone else about my folly. In fact, he begged my father to release me from imprisonment. He said I wasn't at fault. And when my father stopped feeding me as punishment, Arthur ferried his dinners over to me untouched. Aww. Like, hold on a second. Doesn't this sound very familiar in terms of, like, nature? But it's kind of similar to, or it's the opposite of what we saw in Fairy King's Forest, isn't it? It's kind of like what would have happened if it would have been the opposite. It would have been the extreme punishment if King would have been a complete asshole. But King is not a complete asshole. That's the kind of person Arthur is. What I'm saying is Arthur's a lot like Nyson's in a way. He is. Arthur was, when we saw it too before he obtained the powers of chaos, Arthur is very kind-hearted like Nyson's is. And it kind of shows that's similar to Nyson's. Nyson's could fall into a very dark path. Ooh. I wonder if that is going to happen. Because think about it. Nyson's is in a kind of a similar predicament as kind of like Merlin and kind of like Arthur as well. Where you had Arthur, just like, more so like Arthur. Because Nyson's is, the heir to a kingdom, right? And he was brought in. We don't know for sure if Arthur was a long-lost son. We don't know. But Nyson's is kind of like that, where he was, because remember, he was a changeling. Nyson's was the long-lost child of King and Diane. He is supposed to inherit, technically he's supposed to be the next king of the Fairy King's Forest, right? Nyson's is also like Arthur, who's just been pining for Merlin, something that he could never have. It's the same thing for Nyson's, who is pining for Percival, who it's really obvious that I know Nakaba said one thing, but at a panel at Anime Expo, but no, I'm sorry, the writing is on the wall. Percival is gonna get with Anne. It's been set like that from the very beginning. Let's be real. He's gonna be like that, or it's gonna be where Percival gets with Anne, and poor Nyson's is gonna just be left pining for Percival. And I just have to wonder if Nyson's is like with Arthur, if Nyson's is going to be tempted by chaos, if Arthur is going to use that similarity that he has with Nyson's, if he's going to use that to his advantage. It really feels like that's going to be the case. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because it really seems their kind-hearted nature and everything. It just really feels like that's going to be the case here. It does. It really feels like I feel like Nyson's is going to be tempted by chaos. But the question is, will we have that situation where, like, Nyson's becomes a dark fairy king? Will we have a Gloxima situation? Oh, will we have a Gloxima situation? With Nyson's, where he becomes, like, a dark fairy king? Ooh. Nakaba, I could see this going in that direction. And Percival being the one to save him. I could see it. I could see this going in that direction. I could see it. But anyways, so why aren't you going to report us to him? Because what you see now isn't at all the Arthur I know. I would make any effort possible to get my old brother back, even if it means lending a hand to those hostile to him. See, and speaking of what we've been theorizing in regards to Arthur, it's the same thing. We've known for a while that Arthur, I think it was kind of further confirmed like a while when we saw Pelagard and Ironside sacrifice part of their humanity for chaos. And hell, probably like initially when we saw Arthur show to Lancelot that he was a vessel for chaos, that his humanity is gone. Like, he is no longer Arthur. He is basically a vessel for chaos. He's just pure chaos. This kind of further confirms it, doesn't it? Percival, please take Gawain with you. I am a small, servile, clumsy parent. I'm not sure I can say I gave her enough of my love, but still I'm sure she could be of some use to you. Well, maybe it looked ugly, but that apple you grew sure tasted good. And Gawain's an incredibly reliable person. I can trust her all the way. Aww. You truly are a strange young man. You said it. I love Gawain. I love her. But this is interesting, though. But something happened. Remember a while ago, because going back to Grandpa and Grandma, remember a while ago when we saw Gawain, like, freaking out and having, like, this traumatic moment, or having some PTSD. Major PTSD. Those golems are her way of coping with it. Something happened. We're going to probably find out at some point what happened. But at least we know her dad isn't the one that did that shit. If her dad was the one that was involved with it or didn't stop it, it must have been before he realized Arthur was fully consumed by chaos. Because there's more to this story. There's got to be more to this. But I'm very curious what you guys think of based on what we heard about from Arthur. And obviously the source, the person who snitched was Merlin. But based on what we heard about Arthur's backstory and hell, what we remember from Arthur, even in the Knots and Otazai, and what we saw with Nysons and Kingstein, what we saw with Nysons back in Fairy King Forest, because there's a reason why we had the arc with Nysons before this with Gawain, before we got this story. And hell, think about it. Even with Gloxima, back when we had the stuff with the Ten Commandments, I feel like it's setting something up. It's setting up for a possible situation where Nysons becomes like a fairy king of chaos. I really have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that we're gonna have something like that, possibility where that does happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying there's a possibility where that where that could happen. And how it could happen especially is where, how he really falls for it, how Nysons really falls for it, is if Arthur shows him that future of Anne and Percival getting together and having kids and seeing Nysons being left all alone. I could see that. But the other thing too is, remember what we saw with Jericho? And Jericho and Arthur gave Jericho that that world, that fantasy world. There's that too, where Arthur is like to Dyson's, I can give you that world where you could be with Percival and have your dream come true. Like something like that. as well. But what you have to do is do this to achieve your dream, and I could give you the power to do it. I feel like we could have that situation happening too. But let me know what you guys think about this. Based on all of what we've had here, what we saw in the previous arc, in Fairy King Forest, like, it just feels like this is setting up for where we're going to see Nisons become like a Fairy King of Chaos situation. It really does. It does. Oh God, it really does. It really feels like it. God, it really does. And I mean, granted, I'm just thinking about Kuromaru, or, Kuromaru did become, a sword for a minute there once Kuromaru and Yuki Holder reverted back to, a human form. Or she became an angel, essentially, and went on a rampage. I mean, that's why I'm like, yeah, I could see this, in essence, having a Nisons. But the difference between, again, I've said this multiple times in, past live reactions, the difference between, like, Nisons and Kuromaru is that the writing dictates in Four Knights of the Apocalypse that Percival is going to get with Anne and not Nisons, whereas in Yuki Holder, it was totally set up from the start where Todo was going to get with Kuromaru. But I'm very curious what you guys think about this whole situation, especially in regards to Nisons. And also, what do you guys think about the golems we've seen here? Do you think this is how this is Gwen's way of coping? Because something happened to the king and queen. Because that's who he said, because that's her grandparents are the king and queen. Arthur did something to them. Unless Arthur, either she made those golems, or Arthur transformed the king and queen, the former king and queen, into those. What the fuck happened? Like, seriously, what happened to the king and queen? Because remember what was said here. That, that basically Gwen's parents are the king and queen, essentially. Did Arthur had it? Oh, God. Just thinking about the PTSD and everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Forcoa content. A few ways you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. Purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord. Friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.